Is Groupon's coupon business worth $6 billion? Should it be closer to $3 billion? And what does that mean for Google to spend that kind of cash to acquire a local advertising business? Well, we had on Larry Haverty. He owns a large amount of Google stock in his Gamco fund, and he said he likes that deal not so much in favor of Google's move to take on Amazon in the digital publishing world, though.
Well, one of my big problems with Google is that they're sitting on $33 billion of net cash that earns no money, and I think the faster they put it to work or give it back to the shareholders, the better off they'll be. And I think that this is just an absolutely fabulous deal, Margaret.
You do. This will be their largest acquisition.
Yeah, and I think they've got it right. And I had an epiphany on Friday. I was in the Best Buy store in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I was standing in a register and watching what was going on. And I would tell you, in the half hour I was there, at least 30% of the people who went through this particular register got money back with their smartphone. The world is going mobile on the internet at absolutely light speed, and Google has a strategy with Android to capture that. I think they're putting out 400,000 new Android devices worldwide. And the idea is how to, keep people within your universe. And Groupon is one solution to that. Plus, it's a sensational business on its own merit. I understand that Groupon turns away 10 business propositions for every one that it accepts. And we know that it's the fastest company to $500 million on the internet in the history of the internet. And we know that it's as profitable as it cares to be. If it's not profitable, it's spending money on future growth opportunities. And what Google is getting right now, I think, is a business that's profitable. I think it'll be accretive to cash flows at Google and shareholder value. And it's getting a business that I think is going to facilitate the adoption of the mobile internet at very, very significantly accelerating speeds.
Well, it's interesting.
Good for search.
It's interesting to hear you say that you do think that the price tag is worth it here to acquire Groupon. There are those who say that this is Google simply trying to acquire it before Facebook or somebody else gets in there.
No, I think it's a strategy to accelerate the adoption of Android and to convince people to go mobile on the internet, where Google has basically taken control of the primary real estate. And, it's a question of how to get the people to visit the primary real estate faster. That's how Google got to $200 billion plus of market value. It acquired the primary real estate, which was search on the internet, and monetized that. And it looks like it's same song, second verse. Is
it smart to then try to take on Amazon by getting into the digital book device area?
Well, I'm less enthusiastic there. I'm a long-time visitor to the consumer sector. And one of the rules in the consumer sector is if you can't be number one or number two, just leave Dodge. And you have two guys that are in pretty good shape in the book business and the internet. Amazon with the Kindle. People love the Kindle. It's doing phenomenal volume. And I'm the happy owner of an iPad, and it's a fabulous device for reading books. So whatever Google does, it's going to be number three, and I think it's less exciting, and me too. But on the other hand, when I look at a dollar of cash flow at Google, it cost me $13 to buy it. When I look at a dollar of cash flow on Amazon, it cost me $37 to buy it. So I can live with them being number three and taking a chunk out of Amazon because I think the stock's way overpriced.
What I want to know about Groupon is whether their founder really does make miniature dollhouses, like the New York Times reported. Anyhow, on tomorrow's edition of In Business, we're going to be taking a critical look at microfinance. This is lending small amounts of money to the very, very poor without collateral. It's like the subprime type of loans. It won a Nobel Peace Prize for Muhammad Yunus. George Soros, Carlos Slim have been big investors in this area, but now there's a crisis in India. What's wrong with the microfinance world, and what's the danger ahead? We're going to dig into that on tomorrow's show.